talk about clarity. Clarity, I define here as that state where you're kind of knowing. You get this sense of like, I get it. You kind of see things as they are, and then in that moment, understandings happen left, right, and centre, and you can groove out what's going on in your life. Yeah. And for me, I suppose clarity has been something which I experienced a little bit of a few years ago while doing meditation, when the mind stilled and I was like, cool, I can actually see things for the first time. And really, I think this saved my life in a lot of respects. That's quite a dramatic way of putting it, but there's something about clarity which is that sense of like getting it, you know? Not that there's anything to get your paws on, not like a grasping getting it, but like a feeling it out, grooving with the now. Yeah. There's something that is so persuasive and seductive about that feeling. There's something that feels so right about it in a way that sort of transcends the normal kind of highs and lows of everyday life. That it persuaded me to lay the grounds of my life more for that to blossom. And where does clarity blossom? In my experience, it blossoms from a quiet mind. Which is to say, a mind which is alive to the present, and it isn't thinking in terms of static, fixed views about things. Bringing the past in, bringing previous ways of doing things in. Yeah. Or worrying about this, ruminating about that. Yeah. It's unclouded. Today I'm having a day where I'm feeling very quiet. My mind. It's been one of those days where I've just kind of every moment's just been there. Not every moment, but like more than usual. And what I found fascinating about this is that without trying to think about anything at all, without trying to solve anything, all these interesting ideas are just connections are popping up in my head. That, and also moment to moment enjoyment of life is more, feels richer. And this stillness of mind is something which is cultivated, I think, over time. I mean, I do sincerely think I've come a very long way in that respect, but lot further to go. I mean, a lot further. I think if my Alexander Technique training of late has taught me anything, it's that, geez, this stuff goes deep. Like, I've got a lot of fixed views and things about the world which I can drop. Wow. And so I I suppose when I'm saying that I feel clarity now, it's not so much that I think I am, completely clear of all views, etc. Definitely bringing various biases and clingings into the picture, but certainly feeling, relatively speaking, more clear-headed. And the way I think, maybe I didn't describe this earlier, but the way I think this has sort of changed my life, or saved my life even, is that valuing clarity of mind, a well-balanced mind over everything else, I value it far higher than sort of transitory highs of, let's like party, blah, blah, blah. Far higher, I don't even really value that stuff at all anymore, to be honest. I don't try to seek out at all. No, I don't think I really do. It's meant that I don't fuck myself over as much as I used to. The parties and the excess and the what have you, that it was not making me happy. If I'm honest, I don't think it makes anyone happy. Really happy, like really. Because I think a lot of people, when you're in this crazy party mode or whatever, a lot of the time in the moment you are actually not having that good time. Way less a good time than you would like to admit, and then you feel hungover or whatever the coming days. But you don't look at yourself, you don't quiet your mind so that you can actually see the damage you're doing to yourself. I found that as my mind sort of quietened down a little bit over time, it's like, and I've been able to look at myself a little deeper, especially, just meditating, just sitting and literally staring at yourself for hours and hours and hours. You just become so much more attuned to the violence you're doing to your body when you fuck it up. To the extent that I can't do it. Like the whole party thing, like it's not like I'm tempted to do it, but I just like no. No. And what's interesting about this and what I like about this is that this sort of doing things, being more healthy and doing the sort of right things, etc., is something which has come out of not a sense of thinking that they're morally wrong, not thinking that I shouldn't do them because someone's told me to do them, blah blah blah, but because I just empirically, from looking at my experience, I'm like, no, I don't want to do this to myself. This is an interesting challenge because I'm about to spend some time with my best friend Leo from Brazil, who, let's say that was the craziest 6 months of my life. So let's say it will be a test of my dedication to clarity, let's say. And lest I come across as if I've got things sorted out, I should add that I clearly still notice that I do things which are which cause harm. And I think in particular I'm prone to attacking people's point of views, being a little bit confrontational in speech. When I listen to people, often I just think what's wrong with what they're saying, and then prone to that. Can be prone to destructive eating as well. But actually, no, overall, I'm definitely moving in the right direction. But so those things I still do. And these are things which are causing harm, which means that my mind isn't. Which means that I still got further to go, essentially. Because if I really were looking at things as they are, I would see the damage that these things are causing, and then it would be impossible for me to do these things. In the same way that it's now impossible for me to go out drinking because I can just so clearly see what it does to my body, and I just can't do it. And so it's this way of, I much prefer this way of purifying one's actions as opposed to the more Tibetan or other Buddhist route of saying, okay, here are a list of rules, here's how right action is defined, this is what you should and shouldn't do it, and then maybe you'll purify yourself. Fuck that. No, I'm not doing things because someone tells me to do them. I have faith that deep down I know what the right path is, what is good and what is bad, and if I just look closely enough or carefully enough, no, not closely, carefully, if I just look, without layering anything on top, I can do that.